What's going on, you guys? In today's video, we're installing like $4,500 of parts on the Cummins here, and we're doing a lot of upgrades. So we got a full Carli commuter suspension. I got everything kind of laid out here, and look at that, it's actually raining right now. Of course, there had to be a big jet right when I started filming, but here's all the parts. I'm gonna try to give you guys a quick rundown of everything. We got a lot of stuff here. As you see, we got a Mishimoto parts. We got a little Tim Brim here. Let's just kind of break it down. First thing today is I'm gonna try to do the whole rear. We actually tried doing this about a week and a half ago, and on this side, quick tip here for you guys, if you guys are replacing the rear leaf springs, as you can see, there's the fuel tank right there, and you can't get that bolt out, or the bolt right there for the rear sway bar end link. It bolts right up in there, so, or well, right there, if you guys can see, I don't know. Also got some rear sway bar end link, so we also got that. But yeah, so we got full progressive rear leaf packs. There's the U-bolts right there. We got the front new springs. We got all 4 Fox shocks. We got the commuter shocks, so here's the rest of them in there. And we also got a Thurin here, as you can see. Got a Thurin front sway bar. This is supposed to be like their soft ride sway bar, so that should be pretty nice. And if we go over here, we also got the new control arms for the front of the truck. Oh yeah, for the back here, the rear suspension upgrade little kit here, the Tim Brim. These bad boys, when you buy these rear leaf packs, Carli says to either buy a 5-inch bump stop drop bracket, or they tell you to buy this. This is the exact part number they put in their description. And basically with these, the Tim Brim kit right here, the SES, basically what this does is, as you can see, it's kind of like a little airbag. It's not, it's like a rubber spring is what they call it. But basically these right here, I've seen some websites say 15%, some say 25%, so kind of all over. But either way, it's going to reduce some of the payload capacity. I mean, I don't really plan to use it. I mean, the most I'd ever tow with this truck is maybe like a boat in the future or something. That's kind of something I've been wanting, but you know, way down the line there. And yeah, so I don't really plan. This thing is just gonna be a really nice daily commuter, you know, kind of a little fast. I wanna make it like a 550 horsepower, quick, fast, reliable, daily, you know, comfortable daily driver build is kind of what I'm going with this. I want it to ride really nice. I want it to be quick. So, you know, once we get all the suspension stuff on, I'm gonna need to buy new tires because these ones are old and dry rotted. And I'm gonna decide, because these are 33s that are on it now. Do I go up to 35s? We'll see how it looks, see if it needs it. But once we do that, then we're gonna go bigger turbo, things like that. So more power modifications there here in the future. Pretty much the Carli suspension was about $4,000. That's including the Thurin soft ride sway bar. And I bought all these parts about 6 months ago, and I think they had like a $100 price increase on kind of everything. So it might be a little bit more now. But I finally got everything in that I wanted, because I was kind of waiting on those. They took a little while, and I kind of waited to order these. These actually went up $100 since when I bought the rear springs to when I bought these. They went up $100. So, but yeah, I got the there's only 3 right there, but I got the other one over here. I just didn't want to take everything out. As you know, you guys, we put in that, you know, the $6,000 fully built transmission in this truck, you know, rated for 650 horse, which is doing great, by the way. I've only put about 2,000 miles on the truck since I've gotten it, mostly because it rides such like garbage right now, and I don't like driving it how it is, especially because that front shock right there is actually blown too, so it really does suck the ride on the truck currently. But got a Mishimoto. It's a transmission cooler right here, because I did notice getting in the summertime, transmission steps were still starting to climb in stop and go traffic. I seen like 220, almost 230 one time. So we're gonna upgrade. This thing does like double the capacity of the normal one, but we'll put this on tomorrow, so I'll open it up, you guys will see it. But you know, we got all the Fox shocks, everything like this. I'm hoping when this is all done, you know, we should be, you know, really close to a really nice riding truck, and this thing's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. But oh yeah, a little bit more on that kit there. Basically, this like little spring right there just goes in place of that bump stop, which is right there. And basically, it says on the box it adds about 6,000 pounds of level load capacity. So basically, there's a little gap there. Once it gets down to that spring, it can support a lot of weight. So I'll gain some of that carrying capacity back with that kit right there. But yeah, you guys, so here's everything. Oh, also forgot to over here have a sump kit, because we are dropping the fuel tank in order to get the leaf springs on and the sway bar end links I got right here. And in order to do that, My dad actually bought this back when it was his truck. He bought this like 5 years ago and just hadn't gotten around to be putting it on. And if you can see right here, I bypassed the whole fuel system from the factory because it's pretty garbage on these trucks. And as you can see, got the homemade little guy right there going around and going up to a fast fuel pump right there. So basically we're gonna put that sump in so that way, you know, you don't have this just sticking out down, you know, because it's kind of low. It'll just make it a lot better for everything. So we are gonna have to drill the fuel tank. So we're gonna get started on that, and I'll show you guys once we have the fuel tank dropped and, you know, wheels and tires off, and when we're ready to start taking off these leaf springs and those rear sway bar end links. Actually, we're not gonna disconnect it here because look at this. My dad put this in last time he had the tank out. We got a valve right here to shut it off, and then we'll just undo it right here and empty it into a tank. So it's got a nice little smart feature there, so we're gonna do this right now. We got our draining right here into a tank. Got the little valve there. This is actually a little screen filter my dad put in, but you guys can see it. Oop. Messed up there. But yeah, it is coming out. Let's just let it sit here and drain. Got that sway bar out. Look at everyone here is working. Got everyone helping and right there. But yeah, fuel tank is gone. Right there. We're gonna put that sump in after we put all the suspension in. But the axles would already fall down right here. U-bolts on. Guys, this is a very big job. The axle is kind of just sitting here, yeah, on the ground. But trying to get that out, as you can see over there, the bolt, either way, the bottom one, if you see right there, I don't know, I'm trying to do this one-handed, right there, as you can see, that's the receiver hitch. So the receiver hitch probably has to come out, or you have to take it out from the top, which we're trying to do right there. But it's proving pretty hard, so we're gonna probably just have to take off the receiver hitch. So I had to take out the fuel tank, receiver hitch, just to get these leaf springs out. So pretty crappy, honestly. Oh yeah, and I had to take the spare tire off. Yeah, we got this one over here loose. Ow. Hit my head on this stupid jack, because we got it jacked up over here. I hope you can see that. But yeah, a bolt comes through this way, and yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna get up, but it's coming along. Okay, we're getting this thing in, got this side in here. This bolt, as you can see, is in, and this thing weighs like 5 million pounds, about crushed Zach here, you know. This thing's very heavy, 10, 15 times heavier than the factory one, but there it is. We're currently putting the U-bolts in. Can you see the hole over there? Oh, on that side.
I can't see shit, all I know is it's heavy.
Yeah. But yeah, we're putting these U-bolts in, and it's definitely a 3-person job. But yeah.
You're in.
Here's the whole situation.
Behind you. Go on, put it in that box.
We got it right there. He's got them.
I can use this side.
Okay guys, as you can see, suspension is mostly all in, everything, sway bar kind of connected, leaf springs connected, shocks on, still have to, still got to do other stuff, but doing the brakes, Zach just did that side, I'm doing this side right here. It's my first time doing it, they're telling me how, but yeah, here to show you the brakes. Here's a brand new one, really nice, and here's the old one, almost gone, so pretty good. Needed to change them. They actually sent me out a whole nother set of these on accident. Well, not on accident, they got lost, and then I sent in a claim. They overnighted me another set, and then like 3 weeks later another set showed up, so I have another set for next time, which is pretty cool for the front, or for the back and the front up there, so that's pretty nice. Like 10:30 at night here. We got everything on. Got the whole leaf springs here, shocks, that Tim Brennan kit right there for those. little higher off than I expected, so I don't know how well those things, you have to really load down the truck in order to get use out of them. But new sway bar end links are in. Those were a pain. The other side wasn't. They gave us like a bigger diameter for the center, so we had to grind it down, had to press it in, had to press it to get the bottom ones out, had to press that with the good old press back over there. But still the fuel tank to put in with the sump here, and once we do that, we're gonna do that tomorrow. But look at all these old parts. Like, there's just a whole bunch of crap we had to take out. These things are so heavy. These leaf springs have got to be, I would call it at least triple the weight there. These Carli springs. Still have the front stuff, you know, sway bar right here, coils, the control arms, and the shocks right there. So still a whole bunch to do. Tomorrow, just need to put the fuel tank sump in, put the fuel tank back in, wheels and tires back on, and then take it for a drive. I can't wait to see how it feels with just the rear done, how much it's going to change it. Gonna call her a night. Morning here, look at this. Got this hole drilled out and everything, and got this all getting ready. Look, there's all the thing, the float, all this stuff. And yeah, next step, put this thing in, and should be about good to go. This is inside the tank, and it has just been a pain in the ass to get all these things lined up in here. We ended up having to drill it out a little bit more than the instructions on the actual tank, but it definitely sucks. Tell me if there's any shavings in there. There's probably a bunch because you can't reach them way down there. See what you got. Yep, there we go. Get her done. Whole fuel tank all back up in there. Poured the 5 gallons in. Don't see any drops yet, so hopefully that right there is all good and on there. Look at this. Opened up the Mishimoto cooler up here. Look at this bad boy. This thing is awesome. Mishimoto got the little plaque thing. Like, it's replacing this right here. Just look at it. Just like, look at this one right here and how thick it is. And look at this little thin guy right here. Like, that is this is like literally more than double the cooling. It's gonna hopefully make a big difference. Really easy. Only set this down nice carefully. 1, 2, and then come down here, 3 bolts, and then as you can see the 2 lines go through there. And if you can see, there's 2 lines right there. You just gotta splice, cut those right there, splice in the 2 ends. They come with connectors and everything, a little bag up in here. See, with new line and everything. So put that all on, and yeah, this thing should be hopefully cooling a lot better. Pretty easy. I can't wait to see what it looks like through the front of the grill with that. I think that'll look pretty cool. All the back stuff on, and I'm most happy about, look at this right here. If you look down the side, it looks like the back tires are going straight. Before, they were angled on both sides, and now it is pretty much almost straight, like if not just a hair off that way. Like, coming over here, looks really good with the body. Because of the accident from, you know, getting hit over here and everything, it basically made this one out this way, the other one was over that way. It shifted the whole axle pretty much like that. So putting all these new leaf springs, everything on, it looks to have straightened it out pretty good. I measured and everything seemed pretty straight on, so I'm pretty excited. This thing's gonna be going straight down the road. I'm super excited about that. But let's take a look at the Mishimoto cooler up front here. I haven't even seen it. Got it all on, looks great. You can see clamps and stuff. Let's see how this thing looks. Make sure I didn't miss anything up here. I think I got everything. Let's see how it looks through the front grille here. Oh, dang. You can still see it. That's pretty cool. I can't, it's not really coming through on camera that well, but you can see a little M behind there. Definitely looks definitely a little better there. Pretty cool. I could tell it's sitting a little bit higher in the back. It's supposed to be about a inch lift in the back. Pretty much the front is a 2 3/4 lift or 3-inch lift, and the back is supposed to be a 1-inch lift to match the back or the front. So definitely sitting higher in the back. I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but it is looking pretty dang high compared to the front. I would say it's definitely got a rake right now. So giving a little angle there, you can see looks pretty good. You can go see how this thing drives. Got to brake in the rear brakes. We didn't do the front. We haven't really touched too much on the front yet. Pretty much took all weekend to do all that. Like, that fuel tank took forever to get that sump in. It was just a pain to get it all lined up and everything. It was horrible. We'll see how this thing rides. It should ride real nice in the back and still pretty shitty in the front. All is left to do is the front coils, front shocks, front sway bar with the end links, the front 4 control arms, and the front brake pads. I have all those parts, still need to put them on. You guys, we actually did something. Look at that, fuel light is on. And look, I've never seen that needle, seen it below the second line there. Now it's actually below, so that means the float is working properly. So we only have 5 gallons in here, so we're gonna have to go break in these brakes and then hit up the gas station. This next weekend, we've already been getting a little bit to work. As you can see, shock tower's gone. Here's the shock we just got out from this side. Got a little tiny hole you can take it out through, pretty much like right there, but otherwise kind of hard. Like this using the shock here, that's all right there is all in the way really. But just leave the shock tower mount down in there, and yeah, time to throw these Ranchos. This one's actually still good, I guess, but that one there, it's shot. Just gonna throw that one there away. Otherwise, we're just disassembling stuff. Took the bolt off the sway bar there, got the shocks out. Need to take the other bolts off the sway bar that hold it there, and now it's time we need to jack it up to get our coil out. And then obviously we haven't even got to the roll arms there, so yeah, it's a process. But as you can see, this truck does have a little leveling kit on it, so it probably won't raise the truck up, but maybe an inch, half an inch or so, something like that. But look at this right now with no shocks. This thing is pretty bouncy. You can sit here and bounce the whole truck up and down. It's hilarious. Yeah, she's a lowrider. Woo! That's funny. But yeah, oh yeah. And by the way, I have driven it this week or whatever. This Mishimoto cooler, oh my gosh, you guys, it is amazing. This thing, if you guys have a 2nd gen Dodge or even like a 3rd gen and you can go buy you a cooler, do it now. Oh my gosh. I would say a 30-degree drop. Stop and go traffic, 100 degrees outside. Used to get up to about 220, 230. Now it won't break 200. Freaking amazing. Even going down the highway, this thing, or even just cruising like in the city streets, the thing just drops all the way down to like 170, 160. Like, it's definitely worth it right there. I have a slight, you can see it, try to get it for you guys. Just a hair bit of shaft play there. So we are gonna get a new turbo after we get tires and stuff, but that'll probably be in a couple months, get that. A new turbo for it, and yeah. But this thing's looking good. So tires off and everything. We just took off the first control arm, and look at this old crappy control arm right here. Just bad garbage. And like, look at things like hollow. And here we go, got the nice brand new Carly one. We'll grease them after we put them on, but got grease certs on both sides. Really nice, fancy, and they do label them all for you. So got each side there. This is driver lower, so we're just gonna swap them out one at a time over here and get this bad boy in. That side on right there, those control arms. Definitely remember which bolts you did, because we had a whole, you know, trying to figure out which bolt was which with the shock bolts and everything. So definitely try to remember. I'm just gonna pop this sway bar out over here. Ooh, shit.
I think that's what's holding it up. See the whole thing drop? Well, let's leave it right there for now.
Okay. Got the other side on. We installed it all just how it is, with just the frame jacked on some jacks there. And this, we didn't really even move this at all. To get this other side in, we were able to just use a, what is it? Where is it at? I don't even see it. We're able to use that right there to just kind of pry the other side, the axle back, to get the bottom one in on the other side. But this side, my dad already took it away, but we had to get a come along, hooked it to the bottom right underneath onto this, and then onto the frame, and pulled this whole axle enough to get this bottom one in. But pretty much all we did is you take the bottom one out, take the top one out, then you put the top one in, and the top one's usually pretty easy-ish. Just a slight bit of prying to get it in, but the bottom one you have to do quite a bit of prying to move the axle forward, since these are about a half an inch longer, you know, to recenter the axle back forward. So yeah, got them all in. They're all snug on both sides. I don't think we're supposed to tighten them just yet, but to get down underneath here, so you got this hole, that's for the top one there. Here, let's show you guys. I don't even know what it looks like, but there you go, that's what it looks like. But yeah, pretty much get them all on. Pretty simple, pretty easy. We already greased the top one before we put them in, but the other ones we're gonna grease afterwards because they got little grease certs. There you guys, here it all is up underneath here. Yeah, got the transmission pan, transmission, that nice tier 1 diesel transmission. The 650 horse transmission is doing pretty good still. Definitely liking how it's shifting. We're gonna take off this sway bar here next. And I don't know if we're gonna lower the axle or raise it to get the sway bar off. I do have this BD steering brace, so it's gonna be a little bit harder because down over there it kind of goes around it. So we're gonna get that off, and then we got to get these springs out right here. Oh, and we also have to undo the track bar before that. So track bar has to be unbolted, so that way we can drop this axle down. The axle down more on this side, you can see, but got it all lowered down here. Everything looks great, but yeah, we're running into an issue. As you can see, we got the little Carli shock tower thing. You have this little spacer here. Pretty much you use, you bolt it down here, and then you put the shock tower with these ones. But when you have that up in there, as you can see, here's the other one. I need these bolts. The factory came with a ring with these bolts, which has been long thrown away probably 15 years ago. But yeah, so I need these bolts, so we're gonna have to go buy them. Figure here, show you guys this real quick. It's all set up there, the factory one, and then here's the Carli one. You can get a little height comparison there. Looks to be about inch and a half taller. Yeah, this should be nice. This should ride a lot better and have more travel, everything, versus this crappy setup here. So we're gonna have to go buy some bolts now, because obviously not using this anymore, and now we don't have no bolts to secure down the shock tower bracket there. Next morning here, and I don't really remember where we left off yesterday, but we got the springs in. You know, they're all in, and we just got the Thurin track bar in. That was a pain in the butt because we had to get this the steering brace there. We had to lower that down to get this thing in. But pretty much what happened is, here, let me grab a bolt. We got this thing in. We think this is the way it's supposed to be. It only says how to do it on the instructions. Let me grab them. On 03 trucks, 03 to 05, or 03 to 12, and then 13, 14 plus. So we're just kind of going with what fits and putting it on the inside here, or yeah, the inside of the truck there for, you know, second gen trucks. Seems to fit, except for down here in the bottom. We just had to drill this out because it's a taper. It's funny because it says to drill out on the 03 to 05, saying it has a taper, but this is an 02. Why am I drilling on 02? Maybe I have like a bunch of 03 parts, but now this fits in right here. The bolt fits in. It did not before because of the taper, but so we got that in. So this Thurin sway bar in, and once we get this all on, pretty much we just got to bolt everything back up, bolt the track bar back on, put all this stuff back on the axles. We need to change out these brake pads and then put the tires on, and we should be good to go. Oh, and the shocks, of course. You can't forget the shocks. I got to put those in. But yeah, you guys, so not too much more to do here. It's been a while here, and a lot of stuff is done. Sway bars on, shocks are in, everything's all tightened, all this stuff's put back on right there, all those wires and everything. The, what is it, the vent tube, full drive plug, those little airline things, everything's greased. Pretty much our track bolt, or our track bar bolt there, it's not really threading in. It's kind of worn out pretty much just from being really old, so might not be able to get that in. Might have to just put it on the side of the house and go get a new one. But coming underneath here, I broke this freaking thing. These are little stabilizer things to keep this bar from going back and forth here, and freaking I over tightened this one, so this one's barely kind of loose on there. You can see it's cracked right there. That sucks. The other one's on that side over there. It's good, but yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can order a new one of these. Broke off the freaking grease cert on the top control arm. That sucks. So that grease cert broke off when we were trying to get it in there. So that sucks. Definitely a hard job putting all this Carli stuff. Honestly, I would just recommend, if you can, you know, afford it, whatever, just pay someone to put it in. I don't know, because this thing is just a real pain in the ass. Just gotta get these front brakes on, and then wheels and tires, and we'll see how this thing looks. Don't know if we'll be able to drive it, and you know, unless we can get that track bar bolt to work there. Just fast forwarding here, we got everything thrown on. Look at that. Got all the Carli parts there. Everything looked good. Thurin track bar, Carli, the control arms there. Everything's on. Everything's greased up. The thing looks freaking awesome. I mean, whew, looking good. But we just need to adjust the track bar, because if you guys look right here, this side, we are literally, this side's a little more tucked. You go over here, this side is an inch further out. The front whole axle is an inch over this way. So we need to extend the track bar by ½ an inch to split the difference there, move this axle back over, and truck should be ready to go. So excited, you guys. I'm just worn out. 2 weekends, of just both days. I mean, we did kind of get late starts on every day. We started like at like 11 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's like 6 o'clock now. So finally, just one last adjustment and ready for to go for a drive here. It's definitely a big process. Lots of money, and thing is, we still got old rotten tires up here. Like, these things are old and bald. Look at this back one's just horrible. So got to drop another, you know, $1,200–1,300 and go get new tires after probably this next week or so. So yeah, about a week or so since we got the whole suspension on the Cummins, and pretty much from what I can tell so far, it is really nice, you guys. Definitely huge improvement all up in here at the front, suspension and everything all on finally. Just looks great on the truck. Definitely do like it, but I don't want to give it kind of like a final opinion on it because we're still riding on these old tires right here. Like, as you guys can see, those things are really dry rotted, don't have like really any tread left, especially here on the back. If you come back here, I'll be like, just look at these things. Like, that is just horrible. As for you know, the tread life and everything, you know, still got the nice springs, everything on there. Definitely rides a whole lot better than it is stock. I would say it's like a 50% improvement. You know, I want to give the suspension, everything, a fair shake. So we're gonna go get brand new tires on the truck, and I just want to give you guys kind of like a little look here as what it looks like now, because these are 295/75 on 16-inch wheels, and that's pretty much like just over a 33-inch tall tire. And I think we're gonna go to a 35. I'm gonna try to, and I think we'll clear. We're just a little bit close up in here as far as like the clearance right here. Like, when I go full lock, there's about that much space between the tire, about 2 fingers there. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't rub. I guys just want to give a good little walk around here so you guys can kind of see the truck. Definitely, I like how it looks. I like the stance of it and everything right now. Definitely loving the wheels on this thing. Looks really nice. Yeah, we'll see how this thing looks with 35. A little before here, before on the stance there. Also did get the track bar and everything all worked out, so we're sitting perfectly even on both sides. Definitely looks good. And yeah, you guys, so here's what this truck looks like right now before the brand new tires. We're getting the new wheels and tires put on. Can't wait to see how they look. They're at discount. It's been about a month since I got everything all put on, and I've put about 1,000 miles on it, so I kind of want to give you guys kind of like my full impressions of the Carli suspension, the Thurin sway bar, the Mishimoto cooler, everything like that on there. A whole bunch of stuff. I even got a couple other little things put on there. I'll show you guys right now. But yeah, guys, so this is pretty awesome. Let's take a look at the truck. There it is, looking so good. Man, do I love it. But if you guys have noticed, I did actually have the dent over here in the cab. I had that pulled out, so it looks a little bit better. Obviously, later on, I want to get a whole new bed because this one here is obviously pretty dinged up all around, and on the other side, it's pretty bad too. So at one point, we're just gonna get a new bed because it's also like tweaked too. So if you like look at it from the back, like it's not perfectly straight, and we'll get a new bed and then get the whole thing painted, body work done. But got the cab corner popped out just so it doesn't look so bad. But look at this, you guys. I love these BFGs. I went with the white lettering on the outside here. Looks really good. Definitely like it. Got the Carli suspension. Got the Thurin sway bar there. Looking good. Got the control arms and everything. And also, if you guys notice, look at this, how this fender liner here is all extremely old looking and everything. On the other side, it was actually torn up, and I got a new one here on the other side, so it actually looks pretty dang good. All brand new there, and more of the Carli suspension. A little dirty already. I did get a new fender liner for the other side, just haven't put it in yet because it came like a few days later, but dang, definitely liking how it looks. The wheels and tires, I did go with 35, so if you guys can see the tire size there, this is a 315/75/16. Load range E, so these are the big boys here. Ride's really dang nice now with all the new wheels and tires. You guys can see a little bit stance there. Perfect amount of stance in my opinion. I ended up getting a new track bar bolt and everything, so if you guys can tell, brand new bolt right up in there. Got an OEM one here at the dealership, so now everything's like perfect. Yeah, you guys, just coming around, give you guys a good look at the truck. Definitely like it with this 3-inch Carli lift. Looks really good. And I gotta say, it definitely rides really good too. Now, I will say, owning the Raptor, you know, obviously I don't have it now, but having the Raptor before, I wanted to make this truck ride like the Raptor. That was kind of my expectation ordering the whole Carli suspension. And I will say, it is not nearly as good as the Raptor. I will say, like, on a scale, you know, the Carli suspension, third track bar and everything, that got like 50% there. The tires, the brand new tires, got another like 20%. But I would still say it's more like a Power Wagon rides or something like that. It definitely brought it into like the modern era there and ride quality. The ride's really nice. It can handle a lot of the bigger bumps, like you go hit a speed bump or anything, and it kind of does. It handles it so much better than before. The whole thing would just be shaking. This thing would just go boom, boom, you know, now, and you definitely still feel it, but it's a lot better with the Carli suspension. Now, I think to get that really good improvement, I'd really just have to change out the shocks, because these are just the Fox 2.0 shocks tuned by Carli. Now, if I went to the pin top, the King suspension with the reservoir shocks, I think that would be a lot better. That would get me to that Raptor ride quality, you know, level. Till then, it's just, you know, it rides really good now. I think maybe 30,000 miles on it. I'll probably end up upgrading to the Fox Racing website and get the really nice Fox Racing shocks with, you know, the reservoirs and everything, the 3.0s, or get the King pin top suspension. So those are kind of the two I'm thinking about, but that'll be way later down the road. I love it how it is. It's definitely a lot better. Damn, does it look so good on these wheels and tires, man. I just think it looks perfect with the lettering out. You know, the 35s is exactly how it should look. I will say, it does maybe feel a little bit slower and probably a little more floaty on the highway, because these are a big tire, you know, and, you know, this is a 16-inch wheel. So that is a lot of sidewall there, a lot of rubber, and definitely can feel like a floating effect on the highway a little bit. But not too bad, especially compared to those crappy Corsa tires that had, like, you know, before, not this set, like 2 tire sets before or whatever. These ones definitely ride a whole lot better, and dang, does it look good. Now, I will say, as for, you know, like steering and everything like that, if we step inside here, look at this, looks freaking beautiful, got it all cleaned up and everything. I will say, as far as the steering feel, everything feels a whole lot tighter, you know, going from those control arms, you know, so you don't have that like chatter, I guess you could say, in the suspension. Everything being brand new, all the, you know, the only thing that isn't replaced is the cab mounts, and honestly, they've always kind of squeaked for the past, I would say, 60,000 miles. You go on a dirt road, you just hear squeak, 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 squeak. You just hear this like intense squeaking, and it's like, yeah, it's probably the cab mounts. And honestly, if I replace the cab mounts and now the steering, before, you know, you could go like all the way was the steering, you know, all the steering components right there with the 08 Plus upgrade, along with ball joints and new hub assemblies. You know, it improved the steering a lot. But putting on this Carli suspension now, literally, I have found the only weak link that is left, and that is probably the steering box. Because literally going down the road, I could hold this thing just rock solid and the thing just drives straight. But if I let it, it's literally like a finger, like it's like how it is right now. Like, this is how it is down the road. It's that loose, and it's just the steering box has like about a solid, like that much of play in it. Like, I would say like 1.5 inches of steering play, and it's just constantly wandering, going back and forth, and it's kind of annoying. But that's what I've got. Eliminated every other problem. Now it's literally, I think, just a new steering box will get this truck perfect. My dad did replace the steering box when it was his truck. Like, I think it had like 120,000 miles on it, and now it's at 190. So got a good bit of mileage on it. So the steering box, it was one of those like upgrade ones where it's like it's supposed to be easy turn. So the lock to lock is about like a full turn and like a half. So that would make it a 3-turn total. And I'm going to go to a Redhead steering box, the 4-turn. So you get a little more of that gearing there to kind of help stiffen it up and make it feel better. That should really help the steering feel on the truck. And I think that'll really just tighten everything up, and it'll be perfect. As for the fuel tank, when we put that fuel tank in, didn't replace the seal on the top. I didn't even think of that. And she leaks pretty bad. So you can't fill up the tank. We're going to get that fixed this weekend. I don't think I'll film it or anything, because it's literally just got to drop the tank, put the seal in, and yeah, so I'm actually going to do it over here. One of the mechanics over here, I talked to him about doing it, so we're going to just get it done on Saturday morning, you know, on a lift and everything, so it'll be a whole lot easier. But otherwise, the sump doesn't leak, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that stays that way. And We're just gonna get the seal on the top, because what happens is it's literally leaking from the top there. Back up in there, if you guys, I don't know if I can get it for you. Right there, the fuel pump or whatever, which obviously we're not using, but just that seal, if I can get you, the seal going around that didn't replace it, and now it just leaks pretty dang bad. Really do love how the truck has turned out. It rides really well now with the whole Carli suspension on. It's absolutely perfect. I really do like it. I think, you know, just later on we'll upgrade to a good reservoir shock, and then I think this will be like almost Raptor ride quality. But for now, definitely really good ride quality. Definitely recommend it, especially like the Thurin sway bar. When you go up onto a like a curb or something, you hit it at an angle, you don't get that side to side like body movement anymore. It really just handles it a whole lot better, and it definitely made a difference. The next thing on the list is pretty much get the red head steering gear, get that in. Also need to get the billet flex plate, which is actually in the back seat still. You know, when I got the transmission installed, that got forgotten about, and so still need to get that put in, the billet flex plate. And then we got to get a fleece turbo. That's pretty much what I've decided on. Got to get a fleece Cheetah, an SMB cold air intake, and then I think this thing should be pretty good there. The next step would probably be paint and body work. You know, find a nice, really good bed, paint the whole thing, and I think this thing will be pretty much done there. I mean, I don't know about anything else, and maybe changing up the tuning. The Smarty is really good, but I really want to go more custom tune with it, so I've been looking at like a Quadzilla. You could do a lot more changes to the parameters and everything like that, or just take this to a shop and have it really like custom tuned, so it's really taking advantage of everything. Because on the street, it's not like a super fast truck. It doesn't feel like really that quick. Obviously, I want to see how it reacts with the new turbo, because right now it only builds about 25 PSI a boost, which is not that great. I think new turbo, some proper tuning, and I think this thing will be perfect. There is the Cummins fully sitting on the Carli suspension, all brand new 35-inch BFG KO2s, looking good, man. I love it. I love how it's turned out with the Thurin, the Carli parts. Oh, the Mishimoto transmission cooler definitely helps a lot. The thing just cools so quick. If you're on the freeway, you'll never see it go above like 170. And I will say, over the past like month or so, it's gotten a few days where it was like 110, 112-ish. And I was stuck in like fully stopped traffic, and it did climb up to about like 210, 215-ish, which is not too bad considering I've seen it up to like 230 with the stock cooler, but it definitely helps a lot. I definitely say for, what was it, like $300 for that cooler, 280 something or whatever, it is definitely worth it. If you have a second gen truck, definitely get that Mishimoto transmission cooler. It helps out a lot. I'm no way sponsored by any of the people here. I bought all this stuff myself. I would say pretty much total everything. Now with the tires were $1,500. I did get the discount tire certificate, so I'll go take it off-roading and not worry. You know, if I get a flat tire, screw it. I go get a brand new tire for free. $1,500 for that, about $4 grand for all the suspension, that timbering kit, the Mishimoto coolers. I think I'm into that. Everything that we've installed or put on in this video is probably a little over, right around $6,000 pretty much. I mean, we put a $6,000 transmission, $6,000 in suspension, another like what, $2,000 in just steering stuff with the whole, all the new ball joints, all the new hubs, all that, and the installation for all that, because I didn't put the ball joints and all that stuff in. I had that done here at the dealership. So we're getting pretty high there in the expenses on this truck, but hey, you know, now I don't have a truck payment anymore. Obviously, I did move out too, by the way, so I only live about 3 miles away from work now, so that's pretty awesome. Not gonna be putting any miles on the truck anymore, so that's pretty cool. There's the O2 Cummins. A few more little things. I can't wait. Really, the biggest thing I can't wait for now is the turbo. I want to hear, you know, beautiful turbo. I want to get that power level up. If you guys enjoyed, definitely recommend the 3-inch Carli suspension here with the 35s. They fit perfect. Oh yeah, by the way, no rubbing, no trimming required, no nothing. Fits perfectly. Wheels right here, they're a 16/8 with a -3 offset, so everything fits perfect. Rides great. Definitely do like. If you guys enjoyed this kind of longer video here with the whole installation and everything, putting on the whole Carli suspension and everything and all the other little parts, definitely hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel for more Cummins content, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Getting the fuel pump thing put back on. We just put the new seal in, and yeah, getting it all back up in here. Should be all fixed and not leaking anymore on the Cummins.